Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the Cosmic Creation 0144. If you're new here, my name is Ms. Monse, and if you're returning like always, you already know what's up. You are a real one. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. So in my last video, I said that I was going to talk about the person, that caused, hold on, there we go, a lot of pain for me, and spirit kind of actually guided me somewhere else, so I'm gonna talk about that today. As you guys know, if you've been following the story of what I've been talking about, so let's just start like from when the lady who raised me would send me to El Salvador. So at first it was like, oh, you're gonna go to El Salvador with your grandma and your uncle for vacation. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be this, and it's gonna be that, right? It was gonna be so amazing. She would always, the lady that raised me, she would always make it sound like I was about to go on like this luxurious vacation, and I was gonna have like the best time in the world. When it was like the total opposite. She was pretty much sending me somewhere to be tortured. Rather if it was in that boarding school that she sent me to, or at home with my grandma. Either way, I was being tortured. Because I was being... Dejen de gritar. Yeah, so she was sending me somewhere to freaking be tortured. Okay? Because in that boarding school, they would beat you. They would beat you with rulers. They would beat you with, like, they would hit you with their hands. They would slap you on the wrist all the time. Or they would hit your wrist. You would have to put your wrist out. And they would hit you with either, like, a fat-ass ruler, a thick-ass ruler, wooden ruler, by the way. So we would get hit with those for whatever reason. It didn't matter if it was... if the reason was legit or not, it really didn't matter. If they felt that you were just being disobedient, you got your ass beat. Plain and simple. But you would be left saying like, well, wait a minute. Why am I getting hit if I didn't do nothing? Like, I wasn't even part of what was going on over there, and you hit me for it, So it was like that. It was just like if they said like, oh, today I feel like beating the shit out of you, so I'm gonna do it. That's basically what it is. Like, sorry, my kids are playing. But yeah, so that's basically what it was. So again, she wasn't sending me to no fucking 5-star hotel, lavish luxury vacation, as she always made it seem. She would say things like, I'm gonna be sending you money every week so you can buy little things that you want and have cute little stuff. She never sent shit. One. And if she did send it, my grandma took it. I never saw that money. I never spent that money. If it was sent at all, right? If it was sent at all, I never touched that money. And I'm pretty sure it was sent because the lady who raised me was a straight bitch, right? But the lady that raised her, my grandma, was something else. Okay? Something else. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she kept it. She never gave it to me. And even, like, when I was in that boarding school, my grandma was supposed to take me out, right? And she never would. And when she would take me out, she wouldn't buy me things that I needed to when I would have to go back. So, when we would be at the boarding school and we would leave, we'd have to take everything, right? We would have to take like our clothes, our bed sheets, everything to get washed. Everything had to come back clean. Our shoes shined. Okay. The socks, we used to wear like those socks that go above the knee. So I had to wear those, and they had to be pearly white. If there was a stain on them or anything, you got your ass beat. Like your uniform had to be crisp. Otherwise, you got your ass beat. Okay, so that was when she sent me there, right? And so I'm like, fuck, man, I hope my grandma comes and picks me up this weekend because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, right? And so she did. She started picking me up in the beginning, right? When I first got to that boarding school, she would pick me up. And then she would pick me up. But like I've said on my channel before, my grandma was like a businesswoman, you know? So my grandma was never really home. She would pick me up, take me back to, because she had a restaurant where she sold pupusas. If you're Latino, you know, right? El Salvador is mainly known for their pupusas, right? So, she had a pupuseria. And so she would just pick me up, throw me in la pupuseria, and then leave again. But I would always stay there with my uncle. And the maids that my grandma had, right? And so I would always be kicking it with the maids. But then my uncle would be like, oh, I just got, like, he would lure me in with like hella little shit. Like, oh, look, I just went and I bought this, da-da-da-da-da. You want to share it? Knowing that whatever it is that he was luring me in with were things that I was supposed to have for myself. Does that make sense? So he was luring me in with things that were mine. Okay, for example, like if he said, oh, I got a bag of mango and I added salt and lemon and I washed it. Is like it's those green pumpkin seeds like in powder. And I live for that little powder, okay? It was so good. And so he would be like, oh yeah, I just bought a bag of mango, da 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 da. But I, like, everything that he was, like, bribing me with were things that were supposed to be for me, you know? And so this is giving, like, he was pretty much spending my money that I was supposed to be receiving, okay? And so I would be like, oh, yeah, I want some, right? Mind you, at this time, nothing has happened yet. Hold on, guys. Yeah, nothing has happened yet. So I go, right? And still, nothing's happened. You know what? So I go, right? And then it starts off with like a hand on the leg. A caressing of like thighs. You know, it started like that. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my life. But I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how I had to react. Again, like I said, I was 7. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know what I was supposed to say. Was I supposed to say something? Or is this normal? Is this okay? Is this what happens in families? Is this, is this not like frowned upon? Like, did people do this every day? You know what I mean? And so I didn't say nothing, right? And that was that. And so after, right, when it happened again, the luring, like, oh, look what I bought. It wasn't working anymore because I didn't want to go anymore. I would be like, oh no, I'm not hungry, or whatever it was. I would say no, and then I would give an excuse for saying no. So he changed tactics because I'm assuming that he realized that I was onto it, or maybe that I felt uncomfortable. But I mean, he didn't give a fuck that I felt uncomfortable, right? It was what I'm assuming what was going on through his mind is like, oh shit, well now I can't do this and this is not gonna work. I'm not going to be able to continue to lure her in here to finally do what I really want to do. So I got to think about something else. So now, like I said in my last video, the lady that raised me, she would always send me to El Salvador by myself. So that means that like I said in my last video, when I would sleep in that fucking cold ass room on the floor, on the concrete, he started visiting me at night. And that's when everything took place. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should say something where people believe me. Are people not going to believe me? Is this something that you tell people? Or is this something, again, like it's normal that people do stuff like this? Right? And every time he would leave, I would cry. As soon as he would leave, because he would do what he would do, and then he would leave. Oh my God. I just heard he would get his rocks off, and that'll be that. Oh, that just gave me chills, too. Okay. Dile a Mateo que te lo quite.
No, that's the commercial.
Mateo, quítale el commercial. And so, it went on like that for years, you guys. I can't even tell you how many. It felt like forever. It felt like that it never stopped. Because once it finally did stop, right, that's because I stopped going to El Salvador. The only reason why I was going to El Salvador at the time that I was because the lady that raised me, I keep trying not to call her that, mom. The lady that raised me separated from the husband that she was at the time, so she was broke again. She had no money. Because like I've said in my videos, she's always been unstable. She's never had shit. She's never had a place to live. She's never had money. She's always ate shit. Why? Because she's always been living off of other people. What?
Now I think.
Yes. She's always been living off of other people's money. You know what I'm saying? She hops from like person to person. You know, she hops from person to person. She manipulates men. It's like her thing. She loves to manipulate men. So when her and her husband at the time were getting a divorce, she couldn't afford anymore to send me to El Salvador. She couldn't afford that shit no more because he was the one that was paying all of it. He was the one paying to send me away. And at the time, I would always say, like, why only me? Because sometimes it was with my younger brother, but most of the time it was me. So my younger brother also resented her for it, but even though he resented her for it, he like wanted approval as well. And even though I wanted approval as well from her, I quit looking for it after a while. And I made the choice to separate, but not my younger brother. He actually turned into her. He chose to be just like her. Manipulative, a user, a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, a narcissist, a malignant narcissist, a covert narcissist, a sociopath. My brother is bipolar. My brother has been even examined at a mental asylum as 5150, and they still let him out. Don't ask me why. Okay. So, yeah, so she couldn't send me to El Salvador anymore. And that's the only reason why I never went back. But then, funny how life is, huh? Fast forward. Now, mind you, I still haven't told anybody. I'm growing up. I'm getting older and I'm getting older and I'm getting older, right? And I still haven't told anybody. I haven't told a soul. And by this time, my mom is into the Yoruba religion. And she had a friend in that religion, right? I forgot his name. Raul. Thank you, Spirit. Raul. And I remember him.
Never having to work for anything, never struggling to get up. Well, guess what? I come from nothing.
I don't know. I remember him, but I can't. Okay, so that's who she would go to do like her, witchcraft, her brujeria on motherfuckers. Okay, like I don't know if she was doing it with him or he was helping her out, or maybe he was kind and was like, "Girl, what are you doing? Don't do this shit." I don't know, right? But like I said, at this time, I don't know. I haven't said anything to anybody. And what I'm about to say next, I can't tell you how old I was, where I was living, who I was living with. Because I don't remember. You know, it's crazy how I don't remember the things that I lived, but I remember exactly what this bitch that raised me always told me. I remember her words like she's whispering them into my ear right now. You see that fly? That's her bitch ass right now. Monitoring my video. I hope you see this. I really hope you do. So people can know what a monster you are. Okay? So you will have to pay for all those lies that you have ruined and thought that you got away with it when you didn't. God sees everything, and God saw every single little thing you did. Okay? And I hope he has mercy on your soul, because you're gonna need that. Moving on. Yeah, so I can't tell you that. All I know is what came out of her mouth. So she told me, and honestly, thank you, Spirit, it was a lie. What I'm about to say that she said to me, it was a lie. Because she knew the whole time. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. Clarity. Thank you, Spirit. She knew the whole time. So she said it to me like this, so then I can think that she had my back. So then I can think, hold on, let me move it a little bit. So then she can think that she had my back when the fuck she didn't. So she comes to me and tells me, what's wrong with you? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you used to be so bubbly and uplifting and such, you know, like you just got quiet. You don't speak no more. You don't talk no more. You don't say nothing. Like, what happened? I was like, nothing. What are you talking about? And she was like, Raul told me what your tío did. I was like, okay, then why are you asking me if you already know? She's like, why didn't you tell me? I was 7, scared, alone. Where the fuck were you? Right? And that's when it started. That's where the anger, the bitterness, the aggressiveness, the pretty much, thank you, Spirit, the self-destruction for me began. I started to self-destruct. Alcohol, drugs, gangs, promiscuous, like every single thing you can imagine a person can do, I did. The only thing that I never did, sorry for the noise, guys. My kids are watching a movie in the living room. I'm so sorry. But yeah, exactly. People don't want me to say it, right? I don't care. Hold on, I'm about to turn this shit down.
I just happened to notice the book had nothing on it.
My bad, y'all. Okay, mi amor, watch the dragons then. Yeah, so I was like, where the fuck were you? Why did I need to tell you what the hell was going on with me? Right? I was 7. And she's like, let me tell you a quick little story. And she starts telling me how once when she was like, I think 9 or something like that, she was living in El Salvador, and she went to the mercado with one of the maids. And she says, right, that while they were in the mercado with the maid, she cause she said, oh yeah, I went because this is one thing about her. She has champagne taste on a beer budget. Okay? So my grandmother, when my mom was younger, my grandmother didn't show her no love. Like, no love whatsoever. My mom didn't get, the lady who raised me didn't get no love. She didn't get no love from her mama, and her daddy didn't want her. Okay? Her daddy either went out and actually adopted a child instead of claiming her as his own. Okay? Crazy, right? And so, she became nasty from that. She never healed from that. Up until this day, she hasn't healed from that. And I think that's the main reason why also she despised me so much. Because I don't disrespect her. Well, at the time, right? I've never disrespected her, but I always fucking spoke the truth to her. You know, and I would always tell her, I'm like, you need help. You need help to go freaking find out why are you so bitter? Why are you so angry? You always got some shit popping up. You always got drama in your life. Like, you always have issues going on. Like, bitch, aren't you tired? Fuck. Well, anyway, so that happens, right? And then she's like, oh, your uncle and your grandmother are coming to live with us from El Salvador. Wait, 2 weeks ago, El Palero tells you that there's something wrong with your older daughter, that you need to check up on her. You do, and I tell you what happens. And instead of putting this bitch in jail for touching your daughter a way that he wasn't supposed to, you invite him to live with us. Interesting, okay. Okay. So that happens, right? Mind you, at this time we're living in San Francisco, California. So then we moved to Richmond, California. I'm sorry, El Sobrante. When we moved there, my grandma ends up like finding a job, right? Taking care of an old lady, or like a lady that's in her deathbed already. And my grandma starts helping this lady, but while she's helping this lady, my grandma pretty much takes her husband while she's in her deathbed. The lady's dying and everything, and so my grandma just swooped in there and took her man. Regardless, deathbed or not, like, y'all niggas could have waited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Before you come for me, okay, yes, Afro-Latina, period. Yeah, so don't be coming in the comments talking all that mess. If you're sensitive, just click off the video. You don't need to be coming down in the comments about how I talk or how I speak if you don't know nothing about me, okay? So yeah, so we moved there. So my grandma ends up taking this lady's husband, right? And my grandma stays living with this person. But my uncle ends up coming to live with us. Mind you, now I'm 14. My brother's like 12 or 11. And my sister's 7. The exact same age I was when things started popping off. Quítate de allí. Sorry, he's my spiritual assistant, but he's not on the clock right now. Va a sentarse. Right? And so you can only imagine how I reacted. I was livid. And that was the very first time I cussed at her. What the fuck's your problem? Why the fuck are you bringing him in here? It was not bad enough that he already did this to one of your daughters. You're bringing this bitch in here so he can do it to another one of your daughters? The fuck's wrong? I was angry, y'all. She's like, well, he's my little brother. He doesn't have nowhere to live. And the narrative has always been like, he's been the favorite, right? That's another thing too, that she always says, that he was like the favorite, that my grandma didn't love her because she only loved him. And I'm like, then why the fuck are you doing that to your own kids? I was like, you always say that grandma loved your brother more than she loved you. So then why the fuck are you doing that to your own kids if you know how fucked up it is to feel that way? She was like, what do you mean? I love all of you. I'm like, bitch, the fuck you do? You don't love me and you don't love my older brother. You don't give a fuck about us because we didn't grow up together. She had 4 kids and my older brother was always the same way. A drifter. She would always send him with somebody. And my older brother always got sent away either by the lady that raised us or his dad. Because we all got different daddies. All of us. And she loves to talk about how she's a respectable woman with fucking 4 different baby daddies. Okay? That means, shit. 4 different baby daddies? You got 4 kids and every single one of them has a different dad. Fuck out of here. And then you want to call someone else a whore? And then you want to judge somebody else for how they live their life? Like, come on, dude. So, yeah. And it continued. It continued. And you're going to say, right, well, bitch, you were 14. Why didn't you kick? Why didn't you scream? Because by this time, you guys, I had no self-esteem. I had no self-respect. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. I had nothing. I didn't have shit. I didn't have friends. I didn't have a mom. I didn't have siblings. I didn't have nothing. I was alone. Even though, of course, right, they always say you're never alone. God is always with you. And yes, definitely, right? But when you're going through moments like that, those are not things you think about. You think about, why the fuck is this happening to me? Why does my mom hate me? Why doesn't my mom love me? Why this? Why that? Why the other? Why blah, 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 right? And so it continued to happen. And then I thought, okay, so then maybe this is normal, because I'm already growing up in a dynamic where I'm seeing things that they don't feel right to me in here. But all the adults are doing it. So maybe it is normal then? Right? And it continued. It continued for about 2 more years. Until one day, he had built like a little shack, like a cubicle in my living room, right? And in that living room, like, he had that fucking cubicle with like chains, locks, border, like he had it sealed and dealed. But my brother, being him who he is, he figured out how to get in there, and he got in there. He got in there, and when I tell you, there was an unbelievable amount of child pornography. I don't even know if I can say that. I'm sorry, YouTube. Please don't take my video. But there was a lot of inappropriate things in there that were, I don't even know how to say it, but there was underage inappropriateness. Let's just leave it like that, okay? There was underage inappropriateness that was not supposed to be happening. Okay, so he was sick. He is sick. He's sick. Okay, because his own son, now at this present time, his life is shit. Okay, he's been paying for his shit for a while now. Okay, and not only that, he has a younger son who I didn't grow up with, because, I mean, why would I, right? But okay, hold on, sorry, I'm veering off a little bit. So, after, right, like I said in my last video, as soon as I hit like 15, 16, I was gone. I dipped out, I left, never came back, and that's just how I left things. So, now, things are just, I don't know how things work, because like I said, I wasn't there no more, so it's whatever, right? So then after, he left, she left, whatever, everybody was doing their own thing. But when I had my son, at this point, I'm already like 20, 21, and I went back to live with my mom. And every like family gathering, she would always force him on me. She would always bring him around. It's your uncle's birthday. We're gonna celebrate it here. I'm like, I don't want him here. But you can't be rude to your uncle. So now I have to respect him. Even though you know he did that to me, you're inviting him to the, oh, okay. So this is now giving setup. What? Oh my God. It was a setup. She set me up. She set it up for him to do this to me. Because she knew he was a perv. A disgusting pervert. She knew he wasn't right. She knew it. She fucking knew. And because of the hate that she hasn't healed from her own life, she projected all of it onto me. And now adding the fact that she despises the light that I carry, the anointing that I have, thanks to God, right? She hates me even more. She hates me even more. And it didn't destroy me, right? And so now how do I explain? It didn't destroy me. Maybe for a little bit I lost my way, but it didn't destroy me. I didn't end up the way she wanted me to end up. She wanted me to end up in the streets, eating shit, homeless, on drugs, losing my mind, right? But it didn't work. That's not what happened. I didn't fall into drugs. If anything, yes, I was living on the streets, and yes, I was fucking homeless, and yes, I didn't have no money. But I didn't do whatever I needed to do to eat, if you understand what I'm saying. I didn't fall into drugs or alcohol. Thank God. I was always responsible, is what I'm trying to say. I was always responsible. My goal was never to be like her. I didn't want to have 20 men that I needed to depend on to pay my bills. And the only way that would be happen is if I was busting it wide open. And I wasn't willing to do that. And that's what she would do. She was willing to bust it wide open to several different men in order to get what she needed. To live this luxurious life that she was used to, thanks to my grandma. But now that it was time to grow up and you gotta fend for yourself, she wasn't ready to do that. She didn't want to work for her shit. She wanted it to be handed to her. And motherfuckers weren't doing that. Unless you was giving it up. And I wasn't willing to do that. So what did I do? I turned around and I bust my ass. I worked and I worked. I had 2 jobs and I was going to college. She didn't do shit. She didn't do nothing. And so, even here, he was even in this house. Because she would bring him. And when he would leave, I would always tell her, why do you keep bringing him here? You bring him here one more time and I'm going to fucking yell everything that he did to me to his face. She's like, you can't do that. That's rude. What is his son going to say? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about his kids. You think I give a shit about his kids? He didn't give a fuck about your kids. Why do you give a fuck about them? I couldn't understand it, y'all. I didn't understand how she did not have my back. It didn't dawn on me. And then she would turn it around and make me feel weak for it. She would say oh, well, that day that they almost did this to me and she's like, they took us, threw us in a car and took us to a hotel and they were going to do what they were going to do to us. But between me and the maid, we were able to fight them off and run. Why didn't you do that? Why couldn't you do that? I'm not trying to say you're weak or anything, but I mean, if I could have done it and I was younger than you, why didn't you do it? So now she's making me feel guilty that I didn't defend myself, that I could have done it just like she did. And Spirit is saying that was a lie. So she that's all she fed me was lies. She maintained me in lies and in fear. Because she knew that if I was fearful, I could accomplish anything. And I can do anything in my life. And that's what she didn't want. Okay? So, don't you ever think that your past life, whatever your life has been, whatever you've gone through in life, do not think that because of that, you are not capable, you are not worthy of something amazing happening to you, of doing something special. Other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's questions, concerns, opinions, criticism, it does not matter. Bitches can say whatever they want, whether good or bad, and you can say, thank you very much, I appreciate you for that. You don't have to take that advice because you're already so sure of yourself. You do whatever your intuition is telling you. Regardless if a motherfucker says, bro, that's what you're going to start that business, you are not going to get customers. Ain't nobody's coming into this store, and Monday through Sunday, your shit's packed. Okay? This is the reason why we should never, ever, ever worry about other people's opinion or about what other people have to say. Okay? Because nobody knows the struggle. Nobody knows the struggle. Nobody knows what you had to endure and what you had to go through to get where you're at. Okay, to get where you're at. Yes, to get where you're at. Nobody knows that but you and God. So therefore, nobody should say, you don't deserve that. You're not worthy of that because you used to be busting it wide open. Well, they don't know why you had to bust it wide open. If that was the only way that you were able to survive, period. You ain't doing it now. Right? You ain't doing it now. Sometimes we got to do what we have to do to survive. Because other motherfuckers put us in situations so difficult that we have to figure out how to get out of it. And then when we do, these bitches burn, says Spirit. They burn in anger and fury that you keep getting out of whatever pit they keep trying to throw you in. And I'm here to tell you that you don't belong in a pit. You do not. Oh, I'm getting hot, you guys. You don't belong in a pit. You belong on Front Street for people to see who you are. To people to see your light, to people to see your power, to people to hear your voice, to hear your story. For you to be put on Front Street so you can tell the next person like, hey, yes, I lived in the street. Yes, I was homeless. Yes, I didn't have a fucking pot to piss in. But look at me now. I own my own home. I own my own business. I own my own car. My kids are happy and healthy. I'm happy and healthy. I have a partner who loves me, who respects me. The fact that I was busting it wide open don't mean a motherfucking thing. Because I knew the end result. I knew the end goal. I saw the bigger picture before I even got there. Ooh, Spirit. You saw the bigger picture before you even got there. So it doesn't matter, collective. It does not matter what your life has been. It doesn't. Don't you ever let anybody tell you that you ain't worthy of shit, because God says you are. Spirit says you are. And they only told you that you weren't because, again, projecting. Órale!
Okay.
Projecting. Everything they are, they project onto you because you are not what they are. They want to be you. They want to be who you are. They want, oh my God, I just heard they want to wear your skin. They want to be you because you're correct. You're straight. You're not. That's how they are. They're a fucking curve. You're not. You're straight. And they can't be straight. Because, collective, whatever you went through in your past, these bitches could never. They could never. Because the type of past that you've had, it is not for the weak. It is for the chosen. And that's why the chosen always come out of these pits that these fucking demons want to throw you in. And you cannot put a chosen one in a pit and think that they're going to be there forever. No, they might be there a cool minute. But when they come out, y'all motherfuckers better beware. Because Spirit is not playing about the chosen. He is not. And a lot of you right now are about to be vindicated. A lot of you. Share your story. Don't be ashamed of it. It's made you who you are. It's made you powerful. It made you strong. It's made you wise. And it never darkened your heart. It kept you humble. It kept you kind. It kept you in a loving energy. And that's what Spirit sees. And that's why Spirit allows these bitches to attack you the way they attack you. Because Spirit wants to see if you're going to stand or if you're going to crumble. If you're going to stand on your faith or if you're going to turn your back on God. And you didn't. See, look at that fly again. Yeah, you didn't turn your back on God. 40-40, as I said that. You didn't turn your back on God. And that's the reason why a lot of you right now are about to be vindicated. And a lot of you are about to be vindicated in front of these little bitches. Okay? I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Mwah. I love you guys so much. Bye.